SpaceX.
Getting ready for the launch Monday.
Yeah, I'm going in there. I'm going to meet my sister who's flying in. It's his mom. We're going down there. My nephew's gonna give us a tour of the.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when you get to go inside there.
Have you been in?
Oh yeah, I've eaten at the restaurant over there and everything. See, that's kind of a little extra.
Okay, so that's a little phantom braking.
Well, I wouldn't say it's phantom braking. I feel it's more, you know, it seems to think there's a person over here, but that's, I don't know. Well, that tree, I think it's looking at the bottom of the tree, how it might have been hips or something. I don't. It's hard to figure out exactly what it does sometimes. But I wouldn't call it phantom braking. I think it's more hesitation.
Okay.
And also, I kind of feel using cameras, since they don't have dual cameras, like the pillar camera is just a single camera, and the fender camera is just a single camera. Not everything overlaps. So if you see something and if you want to double check and get the real distance, you move a couple inches and compare the two ends. You get a.
I see. It's kind of like triangulating in a way.
Yeah, because they don't have a 3D camera, so they can't judge the distance easier. My dad had a device when I was growing up, back in the 70s, and he used to work for Virginia Power, an electric company. And with this simple tool, it wasn't a computer or anything, it was just all mechanical. You stand there, you got the bubble level, you look, there's the top of the tree, then you walk a certain known distance, you're walking like 20 yards, look again, bam, and here's what the height of that tree is.
Right. So
from the two different angles.
Right. It's a solving trick, like geometry.
And I think sometimes that it might be what the car does when it does that quick little change. Let's go a little bit and figure out what.
You gotta remember, this thing has like so many cameras too, you know, so it.
And not all of them overlap. You know, with the front, with the front bumper camera, you can now use that and those easier. That's why, even the other day, it very fast at reacting to stuff. It actually dodged a napkin coming across the interstate at 75 miles per hour.
That's crazy.
I'm like, a little excessive, but okay, you saw it. And occasionally it will see these little markings on the interstate and, little tar markings and what have you, and dodge those. I'm just kind of wondering here. Yeah, we still don't really have any options on the speed, though. That's what I don't like. I don't have any settings there. The offset means nothing. What I mean is, in the latest 14, you have sloth. That will go the speed limit, nothing else.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Chill, I've noticed on the island here, in the 30, it will do 42. Okay. So, 12 miles over. Yeah, not good. Get a ticket. Standard, it'll do a little bit more, maybe 15 miles over in the 30 zone. They need to have limited.
Yeah, that seems like it's a bit of it's.
But on the interstate, it's different. If I'm doing 75 and I have it in hurry mode, it will do 85. Standard mode, it will do 80. And chill mode, it'll do like 78, 79. So it's more reasonable on interstate speeds. It's just these side roads that I have issues with, are these little small town roads. Right now we're in chill, is doing 33 and a 30. So that might have approved in this latest update. This, like I said, was just installed this morning, so I haven't really tested it. But that I don't like. It'd be nice to have control over the speed again. When I was driving in McAllen with the torrential downpour, and on my YouTube channel there was a video of it. It was coming down like crazy, and my visibility was almost zero, and the car still handled it completely. Yeah, I'm planning to do a drive-by of SpaceX sometime today. If I got to make a little bit of money. Uber and Lyft take over 65% now, so it's sad. This ride to the airport used to pay like $35. Now it's like $22.
It's what now?
This ride to the Valley Airport used to pay around $32, $34. Now it's $22.
Oh, wow.
That they're taking more and more off of each ride. just got ridiculous. But yeah, this one here, it's 2026 Model Y. I've had for just 4 months now. I'm already at 46,595 miles.
Wow.
My Model 3 I've had for 3.5 years. That's 360,000 miles.
How's that? The 3 done on maintenance and stuff like that?
I've added 14 gallons of windshield washer fluid and changed the tires 4 times. I've done a little shock work. That's it.
That's
still the original battery.
Crazy.
The original battery's at 72% capacity.
That's great, man.
I haven't driven about 90 miles since I bought this one, so it feels really neglected right now. It's used to 10,000 miles a month.
That's great.
My first Model 3 was a Standard Range Plus I bought in 2020. I put 180,000 miles on that. Some lady in McDowell ran a red light and hit me. Then I bought the second one. So on every different variation of full self-driving, I have done over 500,000 miles on full self-driving. And I have to say, 13 was very good. I could not picture 14 being that much better, but it does feel snappier. The other morning, I was kind of shocked. I drove someone to San Antonio. We had the back seats down. She had all of her stuff in the car packed. And I was coming back, and I stopped at a Love's truck stop for the night, and just kind of slept in the car for the night. Got up in the morning. I have Tesla insurance, so you can't, if you drive between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., your rates go up, even for 30 seconds. It doesn't matter if it's on full self-driving or not. Stupidest thing. But I got in, woke up at 4 in the morning, getting ready to go. I went to Love's, grabbed some coffee and a little snack. I get in the car. I put on my seatbelt. I'm starting to adjust it. I still have the destination for the hotel. Well, I don't have the destination for the hotel yet, but I had the option to start full self-driving. I tapped it, and it immediately just backed out of the parking lot at Packers without any hesitation. Zipped through the gas station parking lot, got onto the on-ramp on the interstate, and while I'm still trying to tell it where to go, and it was like so fast, so rapid. I'm like, I'm not awake yet. Hold on. I mean,
I am.
I'm usually sluggish in the morning, and that's one thing about the car. It doesn't get sluggish. But I was shocked at the lack of hesitation. It's like right when I touched that button, it started backing up. I'm like, whoa, okay, you're ready. That's one thing I've noticed on the 14 build. It in those situations, it doesn't hesitate. But over, like, coming out of the parking lot there, I was hesitating. I don't know why. And it's nice to be able to choose curbside or parking space and what have you.
I heard there's like, you can start picking your parking space now, and
yes and
kind
no.
of.
Yes and no. I see.
This is giving you more options, like.
Yeah, and when I'm going there, you go into parking, you can choose parking lot, garage, or
So what I heard of
chargers. If you hit into a charger, it'll automatically park into a charger spot.
That's cool.
Supercharger, it'll pull into the supercharger. Except for Alice, it can't even find that. I had to manually drive to that.
When that.
It kept going around to a dead end road.
I think this is like been what they.
What they've been promising for years.
Well, yeah, yeah, but what they initially, this is the thing. What I'm trying to say is that this version is, a lot of people are thinking of what they launched full self-driving in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. That I don't know. Which makes sense, because like they said, like when they were getting picked up and dropped off, and sometimes like exactly where you were being picked up or dropped off was a little muddy. Yeah. You're going to the Rivals, right? Since you're not going to catch a plane.
Yeah, I'm going to Rivals.
So,
right.
Since it looks like it's going to drop, ready to go. They need to give it a little more options to work with the map while driving. So I'm going to try to pick right here.
Sun Country.
You're going to Sun. Okay, yeah, Sun Country there. There's another airport behind there but that's usually for international flights. But I've seen Mars catalog say that you can pick the exact parking space and it will park there. I don't. It might be because he is a influencer, so nav data is a little better. I've tried that in a few places. It worked once or twice, but other places, no. There's like a shopping center in McAllen. I was trying to pick a particular parking space right in front of a store, but it parked all the way to the other end. You know, it's like, okay. So it's not always. It also, you know, if there's an open handicap space, it will take it. So we need to have an option there. It's like, I'm handicapped, use handicap spaces, or I'm not.
Right. You gotta.
Yeah. And
those little details,
Yeah, and yesterday I was going to a shop, and it pulled into the shopping center, and then it started backing into a space. It wasn't a handicap space, but it was a space used for the wheelchairs to go up the ramp. It wasn't a parking space. It was between two parking spaces. It's like that? No. So they have to have a little bit more onto that for the FSD. But I mean, in the 2,000 plus miles that I put on 14.1 since Tuesday, the only time I actually took over was for outlets for that, to get that supercharger. It just kept, you know, it'll get to the end of the dead end road, it'll turn around itself. It got out of there and started going, and I figured, okay, let's see if it finds it again. But no, it went and circled the block and came back down the exact same dead end road over and over again. It's like, why? And then, you know, I had to physically drive. I mean, it just passed the Circle K parking lot. It could have turned right in there and went to supercharger, but for some reason, and even when I tried to say go to the Circle K and not to the supercharger, it still kept passing and doing the same thing, which is pure navigation issue. And in my opinion, that is completely unacceptable, because there's no reason in the world a Tesla should not know how to get to its own chargers. It's not like no other Tesla's ever been there before. You know, doing Uber and Lyft in this area, yeah, there are places I've been that I guarantee you no Tesla's ever been there before. And I'm shocked, even in 13, how going down one of these gravel country roads, and then pulling into a muddy driveway, it knows it gets there, and even in 13 does that.
Well, it shows you just the huge difference between Tesla and like Waymo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, this learns how to drive like a human, not having to be programmed like a computer.
Right, and people don't understand, or they don't realize that Waymo, whenever they have the Waymos out in an area, the routes the Waymo drives has to be driven 5 times with the supervisor in it before it starts driving that area.
Sure, it's even
because in any new area, they have supervisors in the Waymos driving it 5 times to learn it. And if construction happens there, they have to redo that stretch.
They put a road cone out. I mean,
yeah.
Like any small change at all, and it's
where Tesla's full self-driving, it's doing it on its own. It's figuring it out on its own. I have engaged full self-driving on the beach. It stayed out of the water, it avoided the people, it found the best spot to drive on the beach.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
You know, it doesn't need to have the area mapped. It helps, but it doesn't need it. There is a place in San Antonio, a certain area where there's construction in for the past 4 or 5 months. It always screws up there, because I think a lot of people screw up there. The change in traffic patterns, the new ramp they have, it's no longer a road, so they no longer have the exit there. It really messed things up, and you have to circle around 2 miles to try to correct it afterwards. And that's all nav data. It's not the car itself. Some people are complaining about one of my videos where this truck driver just, not a semi-truck driver, but a pickup truck, it looked like, you know, honestly, when I looked at him, when I was yelling at him and I passed him, I took the audio off the off of the video for it. But when I passed him and yelling at him, it looked like he was screaming and yelling at his wife or somebody in the passenger seat. But he should not be driving then. It's where is it? I know, I'm watching the road. Yeah, it's this one here. Yeah, there's the video there of this guy in the pickup. It's he's constantly going back and forth, and the comments I get on the video is like, yeah, but your car crossed the double yellow lines and that is unsafe. It's like, there is nothing coming towards me. It was completely appropriate. I think its reaction, its response was perfect.
Yeah, that's what a person would have done.
Yeah.
They would have hit the brakes and/or.
Well, he hit the brakes, but there was somebody behind me. So that wouldn't have been good.
And there's nobody. It already knew there's nobody in front of you.
Yeah.
You could have safely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
a judgment call. I mean.
Now my Model 3 last year, on one of the 13 builds, ran a red light in Brownsville. I was at a dead stop at the red light. There was no cross traffic at all. Sitting there for 20-30 seconds, and then out of the blue it just gunned it through the intersection. I was getting ready to hit the brake when I looked in the rearview mirror. This pickup truck was blowing through the intersection. Guy was on his phone.
Wow.
So 13 itself saw something coming up fast behind me and got out of the way. In that Model 3, it has avoided 36 accidents. It has avoided 36 accidents that I consciously know of. And who knows how many other times it was doing something to avoid them. But even through Austin, people coming over, someone coming up too fast, it would get out of the way for them and everything. 99% of all of my driving has been completely on full self-driving. And if I go over here to the safety score for the month, you can see how many miles I've driven for the entire 30 days. Sorry. That's in this car in the past 30 days. And people ask me, why do I got the update so soon? But it's like, who do you want testing your software? Someone who only drives 200 miles in a month, or someone who drives 10,000 miles a month?
Well, that's not even a question.
Yeah. But it was funny. Tuesday morning, I remember Tuesday morning I was getting ready to drive, and I see them posting, 14.1 is rolling out now. Everybody, it's rolling out now. I look on Teslafy's website, and I see 3 cars receiving it. 2 Model 3s and a Model Y. And I'm like, this is not rolling out.
No.
Until I see a couple hundred, I don't start expecting it. Because I usually don't see it until I see going out to 1,000 people or more. Then I walk down, get to my car, ready to install. I'm like, holy shit, I'm the Model Y.
Nice.
I was not expecting it was my car that received it.
Well, for them, it's just math. They receive all the...
Yeah, but I mean...
They have all the diagnostics of who's driving.
I have been doing full self-driving, beta testing it since 2021. I've never gotten it early before. I've never gotten any recognition for it.
Well, you are now.
Yeah, it'd be nice if Elon would respond to something, but see, right there, it moved over that little patch.
I felt it correct for something.
Yeah, and it just being safe on that patch. Could have been a pothole. It actually moved over a little smoother than it did in the 14.1. So 14.1.1 seems like it's doing that a little smoother. But the problem I have...
where do you go for the launches here?
I film from the roof of the Holiday Inn Beach Resort.
Which one?
The Holiday Inn Beach Resort, right behind where you were at. They sell access to the roof. But
How much is that?
I think they're doing $100 now. But that is actually where I film all of my launches from. I actually live there at the Holiday Inn Beach Resort. I've been there for 5 years. That's actually a live view out my hotel window. Well, not a live view. That's when they
You
stack.
stay at the hotel?
Yeah, I came out here in October of 2020 for 3 days and just haven't left yet. But this was the booster.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think the owner made a mistake, but you know that's okay. Yeah.
What's that?
I think the owner made a mistake, but that's okay. I came down here in October of 2020 for 3 days. My house is in Louisiana. I came out here to avoid one of 5 hurricanes.
Yeah.
And to see what SpaceX was doing. I was using a supercharger, and the owner was talking to me out there, and he offered me a room at a great rate by the month. I can see SpaceX out the window, so I've been there, and I plugged the hotel on my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's
This
funny.
was the view from the roof here of the catch of Flight 8. Using one of my Nikon D850s. It's amazing what they're doing with that Starship.
Yeah, my nephew, I gave him a book on Elon in 17, 28 to the Ashley Vance book.
Mm-hmm.
And he started, this when he was like in high school, and about a year later, I was talking to him, and he goes, hey, I think I want to go into aerospace engineering. And I was like, cool. All right. And then, 6 months later, he got accepted into the program, of all places, the University of Minnesota, where he lives. But his sophomore year, the University of Minnesota has a rocket, a collegiate rocket team that does this. They have a world championship in spaceport America in New Mexico. It's where like Virgin Orbit's out of, and they do a big collegiate rocket competition. There's actually teams that come from Asia, Russia, Japan, blah blah blah, just from all over the place. And he built the motor for the rocket his sophomore year, the solid motor for it, and they won the world. They actually won the altitude contest, which it's not the highest, but they take they make an altitude band, and when he won, they did it between 30. They give him an altitude band that it has to, in order to qualify for it, you have to, the rocket, its apogee has to be between 35 and 40,000 feet. But the closest to 37,500 wins, and their rocket won.
Yeah, those engines are fun to build. I used to do that a long time ago.
Oh,
Building solid rocket engines and what have you.
Yeah, but he was ahead of the team his senior year, and they won the world title, overall title. They beat teams from like Asia and in Europe that were government funded. Right.
Yeah, it takes a lot to build a good engine, good rocket, and everything.
It was fun because they cast him, and sometimes they'd have a failure, something wouldn't come out right. And
a couple little air bubbles just kind of ruin everything.
Right. So whatever reason, he'd bring him home, and I went to my sister's house, and for Christmas one year, he brought one of them home that they weren't going to use it, and they up there they have like 3 feet of snow on the ground. So he went out there and put it on top of the snow and put a piece of thermite in it and put it off. And it went, obviously it just burns like the devil, like a demon, and it just sinks through the snow, and it made a cloud that engulfed the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood.
I guess they weren't happy.
People were calling the cops and the fire department, and Yeah. The funny thing is that, his neighbors knew about it, so they didn't know anything about it, but apparently they didn't get any trouble or anything, but pretty funny, but.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Anyway,
the police are like, we don't have a code for this.
Yeah.
I don't know how to write this up.
It's not like they did something like really against the law,
Yeah.
technically.
But yeah, I mean, and building model rockets used to be fun. I used to go out and find a nice field, and I'll launch up a couple of model rockets, and within 20 minutes you have a whole bunch of kids there, and then you just sit back, you let them go retrieve the rockets, and you reload, repack, fly again.
Right.
You can spend all day launching rockets. Now, y'all getting a rental car, or
What's that?
were y'all getting a rental car, or how are y'all getting back? Or
Oh, I'm just meeting my sister who's flying in.
well, if you get a rental car or what have you, if you come through this town, Lost Residence, be careful. It's a speed trap town. They'll get you for just a few miles over the speed limit here.
Trying to figure out, I don't know. I think we're gonna end up like watching the rocket with my nephew from where he does. It's over by
Probably Rocket Ranch area. Or-
yeah, it's
or
right
is-
off. It's right off the
Well, over here in Port Isabel, they have the old bridge there that is now controlled by SpaceX, so they let them watch from there. But if you go over to the Boca Chica area over there, Rocket Ranch is another place that you may be doing it from, my view from. Not sure what they charge. But the Isla Blanca Park is also pretty nice for viewing it. Also has a lot of boats that do tours. And last I heard, Redline Helicopter was charging $1,000 per seat to view the launch from a helicopter.
That'd be cool though.
But yeah, I mean, since Tuesday when this 14.1 rolled out, driving all the way up to McAllen through all types of torrential rain and everything else, and to the border of Mexico and to San Antonio and back and everything, never having to touch anything at all. I am now at the point where I'm about 99.5% or 0.8% comfortable with sleeping while the car drives.
That's okay. That's crazy.
13, I was probably about 98% comfortable. I mean, 13 is still very solid. Even in my Model 3, the version 12 does a very good job. I'm at a total loss why they won't have it back up any. Oh, and last night I was dropping someone off in Laguna Vista, and he lives in a gated community. It pulls up and it gets perfectly close to the keypad for me to enter the code. So I didn't have to do anything. It pulled up, got to the keypad, I entered the code, the gate opened, it proceeded. I still done nothing. Pulled into their driveway, they unloaded their luggage and stuff. When I left, it was coming back out. It pulled up to the gate didn't open. So it backed up 10 feet and pulled up again a little bit closer until the gate opened. Another time on 14, I was coming up to make a left-hand turn at a light, and the light was turning yellow, and it got over the line while it was yellow, and it started turning red. The traffic didn't brake enough for it, so once that light turned red, it backed up and stayed behind the line, got out of the intersection because it couldn't make it through the intersection, which is also a new trait that the previous ones didn't do. But like I say, I'm kind of disappointed. 4 months, I have 46,416 miles. So I went ahead and paid, signed up to pay $60 a month for the extended warranty for another 50,000 miles. However, what bothers me is the front camera. Driving 46,000 miles in 4 months around here. That's what the front camera looks like.
Whoa.
From
dude.
all the sand and everything else.
Yeah.
Also, I've replaced this windshield 3 times already. So I pay $15 a month for the windshield replacement grant on that. I've ordered some, lens shields and what have you for $17 off of Amazon to put over the lens, but it's going to cost, the camera lenses, the warranty's only 12,500 miles. So I'm going to have to pay $240 to get the front camera replaced. But with all that pitting and what have you, the image is still quite clear. You can see little areas where it's a little fuzzy from the chips, but it's still able to see.
Well, that's amazing that it actually still works.
Yeah.
Functions well.
Yeah, but I mean, how much longer will that last? Like I said, you can see some artifacts from that. But the thing I hate is people like Dan O'Dell and some of the other people who are testing. Dan was reposting a video about somebody talking about the latest build, how it just suddenly brakes for no reason. But if you look at the video closely, the car in the left-hand lane started coming into his lane, started going in the direction of the lane. So the car was doing what it should do. I think the craziest thing is, how Elon pumps up Grok and how wrong Grok can be. It's shocking the mistakes Grok makes. I can sit there, it's like, hey R, can you help me out real quick? I'm trying to figure out how to spell the word scrubbed, like a rocket launch was scrubbed. How do you spell that?
It's spelled SCRUBBED.
Ah, you got it right that time. Okay. First time it got it right. So, we'll try it again. Hey R, question. Can you help me here? I'm trying to figure out how to spell the word scrubbed. How do you spell scrubbed, like a rocket launcher scrubbed?
SCRUBBED. So scrubbed, like when they say a SpaceX launch got scrubbed.
Can you spell that again?
SCRUBBED.
BED. It dropped the other B, so it's not consistent. Sometimes it gets it right. Most of the time it gets it wrong. Refuses to do the 2 B's. But if you look at the transcript in the app, it gets it right. It's just when it's speaking it, for some reason.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
It's like I can go over here and turn off that and go to the history here. As you can see in the transcript, it is spelling it correctly there. It's just not physically saying it correctly.
I wonder what the reason why that would happen.
That I'm at a loss for. But, it's not just that. Information about, I can ask it about the Starship launch coming up, and it keeps getting fake information. Like Wednesday was telling me that both stages are stacked, ready to go, half full of fuel, countdown's already going. I'm like, no. It seems to get such weird information incorrect all the time. But the thing I love about the Grok is its ability to help me in my day-to-day jobs and what have you. Basically, I can sit here and say, hey, R, I need your help here. I'm driving someone to the airport, and I need to find out what gate they're going to. They don't speak English. I think they speak Swahili. Please ask them for me.
Which airline? And what's their flight number? I'll get that gate info for you quick. Want me to talk to them in Swahili to ask about the gate directly?
Yes.
Habari kwa hiri yako leo unaenda uwanja wa ndege? Gate yako ni ipi?
No, I think they're Russian.
Ah, gotcha. Kak wam popas na swoją reis? Kakoy vot u was gate?
No. Actually, looking at them, they might be Klingon.
Kaasta havis nukne? Tilhingan hol via janikne dak vitu?
No. They have a heavy Australian accent.
G'day, mate. Got your boarding pass handy? Which gate you flying out of?
Well, looking at their ears and whiskers, I think they're a cat.
Meow. Listen, champ. I'm not doing cat-to-cat translations. Just look at their ticket, all right? Or I'll persuade them for you.
That's funny.
The personality is to do cat and to throw the accent there for the Australian. I mean, and it's also fun to ask it to imitate personalities. It's like, hey, Art, do me a favor. In the style of Cartman from South Park, how would you describe the Harlingen Valley Airport?
Oh, sweet Jesus. Harlingen Valley Airport? Total crap hole, dude. It's like flying out a Walmart parking lot. Tiny, stinky, and the pretzels suck. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
It's fun to give it a personality, a comedian or what have you. How would Stephen King describe it? Oh, connection error. Yeah. How would Stephen King describe the Valley Airport in Harlingen, Texas? Yeah, not sure why I'm getting connection error. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how well it can do. And I was kind of shocked that it would translate Klingon. Occasionally it will do a cat.
Oh, that's funny.
The funny thing is that why did they have the conspiracy mode on here?
What's that?
Under Grok, they have a conspiracy mode.
Oh, I didn't.
You got assistant mode, language tutor, therapist, storyteller, kids mode, what have you, meditation, doctor mode, and conspiracy. So I can go pull up our. Hey, R, what do you know about Elon Musk?
Oh, Elon? That guy's basically a lizard person running a global surveillance grid, disguised as electric cars and space rockets. Tesla? Yeah, sure. Zero emissions, my ass. They're just harvesting our biometric data while we're all too busy liking his tweets to notice. And SpaceX? Front for the deep state to colonize Mars so the elites can bail when the chemtrails finally work. You ever wonder why he's always posting memes? code. Straight up code. What do you think he's really up to?
Well, I'm not sure. What do you think about the dolphin tours on South Padre Island, Texas?
Dolphin tours? Pfft, those boats are just floating MK Ultras for tourists, conditioning us to think, aw, cute dolphins, while they're actually government spies mapping ocean currents for underwater bases. Saw this InfoWars clip. Dolphins trained by Navy to detect subs, now herded around for selfies? Sketchy. But hey, if you're bored in South Padre, go might spot a shape-shifting merfolk hybrid. You planning to hit one up?
No, I was going to try to get going today, but I can only find one of my socks.
One sock? That sock's been abducted by FEMA, part of their one-legged population control experiment. They snatch him in the dryer to mess with your balance, make you easier to tag later. Check behind the couch for microchips, though. Still want to chase dolphins without a pair?
But I mean, I cannot find anything that it doesn't find a conspiracy spin on.
That's funny.
But it's also scary. There are people out there that believe all of that.
Because it's what they want to hear.
Well, I mean, to me, it's shocking. In the 5 years that I've been down here, I normally work in the computer IT field. Been doing that since the 70s, but I've been enjoying doing this since I came down in 2020. I have done over 17,000 rides on Uber. And on Lyft, I've done just a little over 3,000 rides. I am not joking. In the 5 years down here, I've met a total of 37 flat earthers. They come to see the Gulf. They don't see the curves, the edges. It proves it's flat to them. 29 of those are Lyft passengers. And there's so few rides on Lyft. The number of people who think all these windmills are part of the government HARP program, and they make the winds. You know, it's sad how it is. Now, you know, 37 out of, 20,000 rides is not really that many people, but it's still scary that it's growing. It's been amazing what SpaceX has been doing. It's just incredible to see these massive ships launching. Where you're staying at the condo there, the Sapphire Towers right behind you there. The Starship and booster is actually 20 feet taller than those.
I can't wait to get out, just to get out there today.
Stand on the pad. Hopefully, it can get you up there close to the pad itself there.
We'll see.
The only problem is, I'm planning. I got the front trunk full of my cameras and stuff to go take some pictures today.
Man, they have Texas Roadhouse down here?
Yeah, it is Texas.
Right, but started in New Albany, Indiana.
Yeah.
They're a hell of a restaurant chain.
It's just like Arizona iced tea.
I mean, yeah.
New York.
Right.
All places.
And somehow they've been able to keep their price the same ever since they have started their product line.
Yeah, and still absolutely no intervention at all on my part. You should have seen this in March of this year when they had the heavy rainstorm. I gave a ride to someone. They spent 36 hours in the airport on the second floor because the entire first floor was flooded from the rain.
I had something almost like that happen.
All of this,
not that, but it was because my flight got delayed.
I mean, all of this was underwater. You couldn't get off the exits here because the entire intersection had several feet of water there. There were cars abandoned everywhere. There was another place where the water actually got over 20 feet deep on the road, where a fire truck was completely submerged. They had to have that towed. It took several days. And it took months for some of the areas in the back to finally drain off. But that was only from a few hours of rain. And what was Uber doing? They were giving all these bonuses to areas you cannot get to. I drove through here, someone's ride popped up, and I'm looking, and it's like, well, I'm gonna try to get there. She's like, well, the water's halfway up to my door, and I need to get to Walmart to get some food and stuff, and my car is underwater. It's like, and you want me to drive into your neighbor? No, this is not Uber boat service. But yeah, I have to, in all honesty, the biggest problems with FSD is navigation issues, and it does a lot better job. But even then, it'll show something on the navigation, show where it's going to go and what it's going to do, and sometimes it will do something different. And I think a lot of people who have issues, they're disengaging a little bit too early. They're being overly sensitive. They're expecting the car to drive like they do. Now I noticed Chill has been doing pretty good in the proper speed, so hopefully this patch kind of fixed that, the 1.1. And little things I like, the blind spot camera, when turning, having that come, it's nice. But I'm here at an intersection, I'm turning right. It's showing me the right fender camera. It'd be nice if we had the option for the car to show us what the computer is concentrating on. Like the traffic coming across. Put that on the screen so I can know what the car is looking at and trying to anticipate.
Like almost like diagnostic view, or
yeah, because I mean, if I'm at a road here turning right, I'm at the corner. There's no car next to me. I don't need to see the grass. But help me see what I can't see that's coming to the left. But that's the computer geek in me that I would like to have that extra data. I would love to have little things like, on top of the vehicle, maybe have the current speed that is anticipating that car is going.
Like a heads-up display, kind of?
Yeah. Give me that information. And that's just the geek side of me that wants that. But that also might be too distracting for you to be too busy watching that screen. Now, what would really nice to be, and actually have OCR software where we can actually physically read signs and license plates. One thing I was thinking about the other day, when you get an Amber Alert, how many people actually start going and looking at license plates? What if every Tesla on the road had that capability? An Amber Alert comes out, a Tesla sees that license plate, it can immediately report the location, where that car is and what direction it's going.
So semis do that already, right?
Some do, yeah. And not all yet.
There's a very lot of them, and they're all. That's actually how law enforcement catches a lot of people now.
Yeah. But I mean, imagine.
Because I work for
imagine.
I have a warehouse in a very large logistics warehouse.
Right.
And they have a huge fleet of trucks, and I sat there and watched that company come over and put the video cameras on the front and the back of these trucks.
A lot of trucks around here, no, but you know,
and they have different setups or whatever, but they monitor. Yeah.
But I mean, it'd be nice if every Tesla can do that too.
Right.
It would just be
wouldn't surprise me
a lot quicker
if
technology.
that might even already be happening.
Yeah, but I mean, how far do you want to go? It's like, do we want my car sending this guy's license plate with his coordinates and the date timestamp to an archive? So later, if he's in a court case, like, well, let's see every place you've been.
Oh, I'm with you. I mean, the time of privacy is long gone.
Yeah.
For stuff like that.
Now in China, they already do that.
Yep.
And my girlfriend, she's Chinese, and her son does basically Uber in China. In China, there are laws. On their phone, they have to keep the microphone and the video camera going to monitor the passenger, making sure they don't say anything negative.
That surprised me.
Negative about the Chinese government.
Yeah, that's I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, I don't think I've ever seen so many wind farms.
If you drive from here to Kingsville, that's all you see along the coast is windmills. If you go by the port of Brownsville, you get stacks and stacks of blades for the windmills. And I'm not sure if they're doing a battery backup system here. It looks kind of like it for the power grid.
Or a data center.
Could be, but
I'm just saying that we have a bunch of data centers popping up in Indiana right now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it looks like.
And over here, ULA, they've shut down this facility here in Harlingen. They used to make a couple parts to their rockets here.
Yeah, my nephew, he interviewed there. He had like 15 or 16 job offers when he graduated. ULA was one of them.
No problem.
You have a good day, man.
You too.
Make sure I got everything out of here. I did.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay, I am looking at. I kind of want to go by SpaceX. I have a schedule ride at 1. That doesn't give me much time, only at 55 minutes. Damn. So, I hate these days. Navigate to Quick Quack Car Wash. So this is the first drive in 14.4, and sorry, for the dead air time there on this ride. Near the end, he was telling me a lot of inside information and stuff, mentioning stuff that I don't think is public knowledge. So I will mute that in production of this video. For the privacy of SpaceX and employees. For any of my YouTube channels launch videos, I tend not to do any commentary because it's hard for me to keep track of what is actually public knowledge and what's not. And I don't want to say the stuff that I know by mistake. But yeah, 14.1.1 does appear a little smoother in a lot of things it's doing. It seems so far, Chill seems to be doing good at doing a more appropriate speed control. One thing I did notice in the past 2 software builds, when I lower the back seats in the car, it will move the driver's seat forward to make room for the headrest on the back seat as it goes down. But now it will not move it forward when it goes up, so it gets stuck. That used to work. So undoubtedly somebody missed something in that. I mean, you get a new version of the software, and there are so many little things that are being tweaked and changed and added. It's easy to overlook one thing like that. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video as we pull up to this person's location, doing curbside. Yeah, can't really tell if it's a house or what there, but yeah, 14.1.1 It does feel a little smoother. It's not being, you know, the speed mode seems to be a little more acceptable. I don't know. Maybe I need to keep driving today, make as much money as possible today. And then do a drive. Damn. I think I also have to set out what my camera's up to. I do have a reservation 10 a.m. going from South Padre Island to Brownsville. A busy day tomorrow. I may go and try to do a side drive near sunrise, get some pictures before the launch. Make a little bit of money and then get back to the hotel and start setting up all of my equipment for the launch. But this was the first drive of 14.1.1. Just installed last night.